what's up, sports fans? Welcome to our first episode of Catching Up, the program where we catch up with some of your favorite past sports professional athletes. I'm Scott McCarron, and what better way to start things off than to start with my co-host, the one and only John Henry Mills.
All right. It's good to be here. I appreciate you inviting me for the first time, and it's a great thing, I think, catching up and reaching out to some guys because I've followed some podcasts, and I'm just very excited to start my own.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to be here as well. Typically we'd start off, we'd call in, have somebody call in and talk with us, but we need to get to know you first.
Correct.
And so give everyone some background. You spent the most of your time with the Oilers. You were named special teams All-Pro in '96, went to the Pro Bowl that year, then spent a couple years with the Raiders and then Vikings. So tell us, what have you been doing since then?
Well, since then, obviously, I've been teaching for the last 21 years. Spent nine years in HISD and another 11 going on 12 years here in CCISD. So been just teaching, giving back to the community, giving back to where I started, just the community and whatnot. But I enjoy being here.
Gotcha. And so what made you get into teaching to begin with?
Well, to be honest with you, it was either be a firefighter or a school teacher, and I just really didn't have an idea what I wanted to do. But the good thing is, though, the transition that I made from retiring in 2000 and started substitute teaching in 2001 was a sort of an easy transition because I ended up becoming a English teacher the first year, and then a librarian the next year. And then the following year, I went on and got my alternate certification to be a teacher, and then moved into coaching football. So transition was kind of smooth. I mean, I enjoyed it, and it actually worked out for me.
Gotcha. And then now you're in special education. What was your calling there? What brought you into that?
Well, in the beginning, as far as when I talked to my the head coach at the time, Marshall Law, he told me that being an English teacher, history teacher, or SPED teacher would be the easiest thing to kind of move into, and just take the test, or obviously outside of PE, and you can get a job anywhere. And so I've noticed that no matter where I've gone or where I've maneuvered, I've been able to get a job wherever I wanted to get. I mean, for the two places that I've gone. So
that's great. Yeah, I'm watching your Facebook posts all the time, and it seems like every other day you're out golfing.
Yes. And I mean, anytime there's any kind of daylight, I just got a message from my daughter the other day, well, actually today. If there's 65 or 50 degrees and it's sunny outside, I will be outside chasing that little white ball around.
You were doing it last week when it was 20 degrees.
Yes, I was.
saw Butch's post.
Yes, I was. It was quite cold, but it did warm up to 50 degrees. It started off right around the 30s, but we ended up having a decent round out there at Wildcat Golf Course. But it was still a great outing because, like I said, I love playing.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, time to move on to 5 questions. This is something that we'll do every time with our guests. And so first one was, who is the most fun player to be around?
I say the most fun player because it's obviously the network and the community, the fraternity that we have as football players. I mean, there's tons of guys that I can say these are my colleagues, these are my buddies. First guy that came into mind, his name was Rod Lewis. He was a tight end that came out of Arizona right after me the following year with the Oilers. We still contact each other once a week or whatnot, and he's my godfather for my daughter. He is one of my best friends, colleagues, friends. Anything confidant, anything that you can kind of put on it, that's my guy. That's my guy, Rod Lewis.
Nice. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, favorite memory from playing.
Favorite memory from playing. I can say in a game itself. One of the best games we had as a team and as a player, I would say, we were playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And the whole goal was to go down and make some big hits, which they're outlawed now. So you can't even really go down there and make a big hit without getting fined for it, let me tell you. So the first guy comes down, catches the ball, and buddy of mine, Joe Bowden, takes him out. The kid gets to the sidelines and said he can't breathe, but he gets to the sidelines. So that was one of the things I'm going to add to the story. The next guy catches the ball, and I hit him, and I break his collarbone. He doesn't get off the field. So, with not necessarily a bounty or some just wagers that were on the line, you would say at that time, if they get up and get off the field, you don't get it. If they stay on the field and they have to carry him off, you get the wager. So, that being said, I got the wager that day, and so the next guy, which we all know, his name was Trevor Cobb, and went to Rice, running back. He was the next returner that they put in. So this is the third returner. He came down, caught the ball in the end zone, was coming out of the end zone, returning the ball. And I think we got about 5 to 10 yards away from it, and he did a baseball slide. And he said, forget this. I see these guys aren't blocking. I'm not trying to get hurt. And he slid and ran off the field, tossed the ball to the official. It's funniest thing ever. We talk about that to this day within the group of the network of guys. So
Yeah.
that was one of the best games I think I ever had as a player, and as we maneuvered through the whole thing. There's, like I said, there's tons of situations and big hits and things that have happened throughout my career, but that was one that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me, what's your favorite city to play in as a visitor?
As a visitor, I could say San Francisco was nice. The 49ers. The stadium, like they say, wine and cheese for everybody. I mean, it's real nice venue and whatnot. That was one of the more favorable stadiums that I think I've ever played in, because any of the other ones, I'm going to tell you the truth, whether that was Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Chicago, all of that, you can tell that's miserable, cold. So I can't say that was one of my more favorite stadiums to stay in. But I think San Francisco, maybe because it was the weather, or maybe because it was the wine and cheese. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and that leads into the next one. What's your least favorite city?
Least favorite, like I said, I called them all out. Buffalo, I could say that might be the worst, just because of the snowballs that you get hit with, as you can see in the playoff games that just happened. There were snowballs with batteries in them as they're throwing them at you, and it's just super cold outside of Green Bay. Green Bay was another one that was super cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's been the most inspirational player or person to you?
Inspirational person to me, and I think it has a lot to do with the longevity that this person has played in the game, and then obviously his the following his spiritual background that he has. We actually go to the same church to this day, and I still haven't seen him at church. But that was one of the things that we did every Thursday, fellowship, because we played on Sunday. So as far as getting up, going to church, our fellowship was on Thursday. So an inspirational guy that I kind of look up to was Bruce Matthews, because his locker was right behind me, and he taught me a lot. Hey, rookie, you need to do this. Hey, rookie, you might think about doing this. Hey, rookie, you might want to do this way. And so as a rookie, you kind of follow those veterans and lead, because they know what they're talking about. So Bruce Matthews and Spencer Tillman. So those two guys that I can sit there and say, hey, I look up to those two guys.
Well, and that probably leads into one of the questions I had later on. When you were a rookie, what veterans sort of took you under your wing or under their wing and sort of guided you? And it sounds like it was those two.
Well, definitely those two for sure, just because the spiritual background that Bruce Matthews has, and then the radio and TV, and then the audio vision that I had moving forward as far as what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, because I wanted to. I worked at Channel 11 for 3 years with Butch.
House and door, yeah.
So I wanted to move in that direction. But my locker mate was Ray Childress. Ray Childress, great man, funny as can be. But if you ever ran into him, you'd probably say, "This guy doesn't say a word." But when he gets around us in the fraternity, he opens up like I don't even know what to tell you, like a bloom flower. I mean, he gets after it, chats and makes jokes. He is so funny, and so we had a little deal. So, like I say, we're locker mates. It was Ray's on the corner and I was on the corner, and we had an open locker in between us for 4 years straight. 4 years straight. And so every rookie or anybody that they brought in, within 2 weeks or a week, they were cut. So we would tell guys, hey, if you want to stay on the team, you might want to move out of that locker, because if you don't, you won't be here very, very long. Mm-hmm. And each guy that we did tell that, that did come in that locker actually stayed around for a while. And I say that the last guy was, God rest his soul, Frank Wycheck. He was the last guy that moved into that locker and actually made the team and stayed on that team for a while, which was interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So going back to your rookie season, you know, all kids dream of playing professional sports, being an actor, musician, whatever it is, something famous. You strike me as the type that would appreciate and sort of really take in what was going on. What was it like walking into the Oilers locker room that first time?
So the first time, I'm be honest with you, I probably can't really remember, but I do remember week in and week out, we would get these game day programs of, say, hey, let's say Ernest Givens is on the front, Haywood Jeffries or Bruce or Mike Munchak, and I would take that game day program and go get an autograph. And they go, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're a player. I say, but I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So, I mean, I have a memorabilia and stuff from the older days that you won't believe. So we'll bring it in here one day and start setting it up. And these will be some of the things I can show and talk about the players that we bring in on our podcast. But I have an autograph from every player that played on the Oilers team in my game room upstairs.
That's awesome.
Every player.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's neat. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we hear stories about how vets put rookies through sort of initiation.
Right.
Any stories that you went through?
I do. I have one, definitely. So, of course, and everybody would tell me how frugal I was, and when they get on the show, they'll probably share the same story, most likely. I was cheap. And I brought up a certain way. No, we didn't live. We have definitely my life military background, so it wasn't like I was destitute and needed money. But I just didn't think you should spend a lot of money on frivolous things. And so, as a rookie, all you have to do is give the head trainer, Red, at the time, $100, and he will go get donuts and biscuits and stuff for the entire team. $100. I thought it was too much money. So I go to Sam's. And I get the day-old muffins and blueberry muffins and a bottle of milk and a bottle of orange juice, and I take it and put it on the rack there where we go have our Saturday brunch. And of course they go, what is this? Who bought this? And of course, Skills is my nickname. Skills bought that. Skills, you bought this? What is this? This is ridiculous. All right. And they were like, nah, this is not going to work. Skills, you got it again next week. Okay, moving forward. Fast forward. I forget. And I forget, and I get there right on time. So we need to be there by 7:30. We go out, walk on the field at 8 o'clock for a pregame walkthrough on a Saturday. I get there probably about 7:45, not thinking that, I had donuts again that week. Skills, did you forget the donuts? And as I'm walking in, I go, oh, man. And then at this point, this is Jack Pardee.
Right.
Is standing at the table. Mills, where are the donuts? And I go, I forgot. And he goes to William Fuller, Sean Jones, a couple other big guys. Get him. I go, what? What do you mean get him? And they attack me, grab me, wrap me up in tape. Wrap me up in tape. All my legs, my arms, and everything. And they dunk me, Dunkin' Donuts style, in the whirlpool, like this. So I'm in the whirlpool with back then I had my little pager, date myself, the pager, a cell phone, and my wallet. And I go, Spencer. I said, hey, man, could you just hold my head up over the water because I don't go under because I couldn't balance myself. So he has my head up over water for about 2 or 3 minutes until I finally kind of get myself right. And I said, hey, could you, before as they were getting ready to dunk me, my beeper fell off, and Spencer grabbed my beeper. And I said, could you grab my wallet? And so he grabs my wallet and my beeper. He looks at my wallet. I have over like $200 or $300 in my wallet. I don't have no idea why I have that much money on me. I have no idea. He goes, you got the money right here. Just give it to him. Oh, man. So that's a story. Let me tell you. I was just one of those guys that didn't spend a lot of money. And I got a lot more stories to go along with me not spending money, from going out with the guys and leaving the plane. So we would leave the plane on a away trip. I would bring a duffel bag because it would be all this extra food and sodas and drinks and Gatorades and Snicker bars that no one would eat. They were just a flight attendant because it was a chartered plane.
Right.
Would just bring his stuff and then just leave in the seat. So
Yeah.
I'll sit back, wait for everyone to get off the plane, and I just load up my duffel bag full of all the goodies. If they didn't take a bite out of it, of course,
Right.
I would put it in my duffel bag, and if you ever came over to my house at the time, my little studio apartment, that my entire refrigerator would be filled with everything that was on the plane.
That's awesome. So, all right. So let's fast forward to, I believe it was that your first year, team got off to a bit of a slow start.
Correct.
But then you went on a run. I think wound up winning like around 11 games.
11 games straight. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the big thing that everyone remembers was the little sideline skirmish.
Yes.
With Kevin Gilbride and Buddy Ryan.
Yes.
So what were you thinking, as this is going on?
So, which is interesting, I didn't even know it happened.
Okay.
Until I watched ESPN that night, and then I started calling around, hey, did they get in the fight? Because I didn't understand what was going on at halftime. So, because I guess when it all happened, I was out there on the field on special teams, doing whatever I was doing, and then the halftime went, and then we go into the locker room. I hear the offense over here, defense over here, and I'm just kind of standing in the hallway like, what's going on? Right? Greg Williams goes, hey, Mills, come over here with the defense. Just come in here and have a seat. I go, okay. I had no idea what happened. So sure enough, I mean, as we talk through it and we go back and we relive the whole story and how things happened, I don't if you remember it. It was only a couple minutes so left on the clock. Kevin Gilbride chucks and ducks, throws it 3 times. The clock doesn't run out. Defense goes back on the field. Starting linebacker goes down, and he's done for the rest of his career. He never plays again after that. It was Al Smith.
Wow.
And so Buddy's a little bit upset. If you just run the ball 2 plays, we go in for locker room, I don't lose my starting linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what the skirmish was. Run the ball. You don't tell me what to do. What'd you say? And then, haymaker goes. So that's how all of that happened.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that 96, you were named All-Pro, went to the Pro Bowl. Tell us what that was like.
So just to backtrack that just a little bit, 94, 95, I was second alternate by Benny Thompson. And then the following year, 95, I was first alternate. And all we did was switch spots behind Steve Tasker. Steve Tasker went. Steve Tasker retires that year. I made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so be honest with you, if he doesn't retire, I'll still be first or second alternate. So I was alternate 2 years in a row prior to that.
Okay.
And then I made it. Yeah. So and so with the AFC and NFC, they only take one player for each. One for the
that's right.
One for the AFC, one for the NFC. So it is a great honor to be the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's hard to do.
I mean, you say that you're the second alternate, but you had been playing your tail off to be even at that level. There's so many guys that are on special teams, and
that is true. I really took it to heart. I was thinking, like, if I couldn't play on offense, and that was due to Kevin Gilbride not really changing the scheme around because Buddy Ryan brought me in and whatnot. That was one of the things I said. I can play somewhere, whether it's defense, offense, whatever. Just let me get a chance to play. And I guess I just like if I'm gonna play it, you might as well do it full speed. You might as well give it your all. And I took heart to it, and it actually paid off, as you can see. Playing special teams, and I think as you maneuver through it, all the first round picks and the guys second round, and if anybody ever listened to me, if you want to play pro ball one day. And yes, we're all stars in the big scheme of things. But if you can do multiple things, whether that's play special teams, you have a long career. Let me tell you, a long career.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to sort of wrap things up with some player word associations.
Okay.
I'll give you a player. You give me like 1 or 2 words that comes to mind when I mention them.
Gotcha.
So these are all guys that you played with at some point in your career. All right, first one, the obvious big name, Warren Moon.
That is a leader. A captain, the major, the sergeant, the general that's in charge of things, and a true human being. I mean, he's like I say, a captain. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. All right, Steve McNair.
Really didn't get a chance to hang around him much, but the times that I did hang around with him, different times during the off season, just a fun-loving guy. Fun-loving.
Good. Eddie George.
Strong, solid individual. I say strong. I mean, he's a big man, 6'4", 240 pounds, running the 4.4. You can't. There's somebody you don't want to get in front of.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that tall.
Oh, that's a big man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
Wow,
man.
that's crazy. Another big man, Bruce Matthews.
I say that would be it's almost like the comedian, the jokester, and when I say he's a big man, but he loves to play and enjoy what he does. Yeah, so like he's like a playful type guy. I say playful.
Okay. Chris Dishman.
Just a great smile. So I'm trying to think of something along with the smile and that would give the shirt off his back. You know what I mean? I say caring. Caring. And congratulations to him to get the TSU job, head coach also too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on to some time with the Raiders. Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, definitely a leader.
Okay. Russell Maryland.
Quiet.
Really?
Yes, quiet.
All right. How about some Vikings? Randy Moss, another receiver.
That is the most loving guy that you would never think. I mean, people thought he was cocky, conceited. Randy was total opposite. And I think the image that they had from him going in while he was playing, but obviously you see is different because you see him on the First Take and all the different ESPN shows now. So that he's a solid individual.
It's funny you bring that because as an outsider, I thought that he was sort of had this ego and
not at all.
But what was interesting is last week I was watching one of the pregame shows for the games, and he was on with Larry Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald was talking about when he was a ball boy and coming up and how he'd known Randy Moss, and Randy gave him his car to take to prom, and just had great stories about him, and that put him in a new light for me.
Yeah,
and
it's the same way. When I first got there, like I said, I am a player and a fan also at the same time. I came up to camp. This is training camp. I had 2 Randy Moss jerseys, a plaque, and some pictures for him to sign at lunch. and he told me, he said, "Look here, Mills. I know we're from Florida. We're both from the same hometown, and we know each other. We know the same people. I'm only going to do this once because I know we don't do this." And he's like, "Why do you have all this stuff?" I go, "I'm a fan."
That's great. So your last year with the Vikings was 99. Is that right? What was it that sort of made you realize it's time to sort of hang it up?
Well, really, I didn't think it was time to hang it up because 2000, I was at home, and they told me that they were going to be bringing me back up the 3rd preseason game. And so when I did come back up the 3rd preseason game, I was set to make the roster. But I think I don't know whether it was financial things that needed to be taken care of, whether it was my agent or not, or because at that time, my income you can bring in 2 guys for the one, and at being a special teams player, I need to be. I don't know. I just think there was just wrong timing, wrong place, and I could have went on and played some other places, whether that was Canadian ball and whatnot. But I chose to hang it up because my injuries were plaguing me a little bit too. So that was kind of kept one of the things that kept coming down the line. And if people they see me walk now, they go, "Wow. That knee doesn't work, huh?" But that's just one of those things. So.
Yeah, cool. Hey, it was great catching up with you today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to more stories as you being the co-host with other people we bring in. I can't wait to hear these other ones. So, be sure to check us out next time on Catching Up.